Hi guys, happy Halloween. This week we are going to take a break from our usual art lessons and do a fun Halloween activity, or Funtivity as I like to call it. We're going to be doing something called origami. Origami is a Japanese art form of folding paper to create other images or pictures. And we're going to be making a black cat. So you will need to find some black paper for this project. If you don't have black paper, you could always color in a piece of white paper with black crayon or black marker or even black paint, but you'll want to let the paint dry before you start folding. You might even need to have both sides of the paper colored for this project. So make sure you have that and some scissors, some glue, and even maybe another piece of paper to glue your origami on at the end. So I'll meet you back here in a moment with all of those things and we'll get started. All right, so I'm gathering my supplies here. I've got my black construction paper, I've got scissors, glue, and I'm even gonna use a white crayon later. Now, if you're someone who doesn't celebrate Halloween, you don't have to make yours a black cat, but you can still follow the directions with whatever color paper you choose to make just a regular old cat. So the first step of our project is to take this black piece of paper and turn it into 2 small squares of black paper. So in order to do that, I'm going to fold one short side of the paper over to meet the other short side of the paper. Press that crease down and make sure that the corners are lined up. Then you can open it up. What you'll see is a crease or a line that you've created from folding right down the middle of your paper. Next, I'm going to very carefully cut that line, and that will give me 2 smaller rectangle pieces of paper. But remember I said we needed 2 square pieces of paper. So I'm going to do a few more steps to create squares out of these 2 papers. So turn your paper horizontally and take the bottom right corner and fold it up so that you're creating a triangle. Now, the short side on the right is going to match up with the top of your paper. And your corner is not going to make it all the way across. In fact, you're going to have a bit of a rectangle left over on the outside of your triangle. The next step is to cut off that extra rectangle piece that's on the outside of the triangle that you just folded. Let's get rid of that extra piece and save it for later maybe. Did you know that a triangle is half of a square? So when we open this up, we've created a square piece of paper. Now, we don't need to do that step 2 times. We can actually just take the square that we just created and use it as a tracer. So I'm going to place it on top of the other piece of rectangle black paper and use a pencil or that white crayon to just trace the line and create a guide for where we're going to cut the rectangle to turn it into another square. Okay, now we're going to begin the origami steps. So you only need 1 square for right now. I'm going to set my other square aside and zoom in a little bit on this square so you can see exactly what I'm doing very clearly. Begin by rotating your square paper and turning it into a diamond. You should have a corner facing you and a corner facing straight up away from you. We're going to find the corner facing you and fold it up and across and match it with the corner at the very top, and then press to create a triangle. Always remember that you can pause the video or rewind to see steps again, because origami is not always easy for everyone. We're going to use this triangle you've just created to make the cat's head. The top of the head is going to be where that point is facing up, and we're going to use the bottom corners to create the ears. Now you're going to take one of the bottom corners to start and fold it up so that the point is now facing straight up. Now I'm using construction paper, which is pretty thick, so sometimes it takes a few tries to get the fold exactly right, and you might need to use some big strong muscles to get that paper to go where you want it to go. Let's repeat those steps on the other side. So take the bottom corner, fold it up, 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 so that the corner is facing straight up, and you kind of have a W shape out of the points of your cat's head. Now to finish up the cat's head, we're going to get rid of that very sharp point at the top of their head. We're going to fold that top corner down, make sure to grab both pieces, and gently fold it down just a little bit to make the cat's head a little flatter, a little more rounded than that really sharp point. One thing that's really cool about origami is that you can use origami patterns to create 3D works of art. Now, this cat project is not exactly a 3D work of art. So what I'm gonna do is take some glue and just glue down those folded pieces so that they don't end up popping back up on me. All right, you have just completed a cat's face using origami. I'm gonna do a quick check here and make sure I like how mine looks. You might wanna do this before you glue in case you need to readjust any folds. The only thing I'm gonna do is trim off a little bit of that edge to make that cat's ear a little bit pointier. All right, all I have left to do now is 2 steps to make the cat's body. I'm gonna use that black square that we created earlier, and I'm gonna fold it in half again to make another triangle. We've done this step before. It's just taking one corner and folding it across to the other corner. This time I'm going to rotate it so that I have a vertical side on the left, a horizontal side on the bottom, and a diagonal line off to the right. This is the base of our cat's body. The only thing we're going to be folding is one corner to make a tail. So I'm gonna fold one corner just a little bit. I'm not gonna fold it all the way across, just so that I have a point sticking up and kind of an angle on the bottom right corner. Now I'm gonna glue so that my cat tail doesn't unfold on me. And I'm gonna press and make sure that sticks really well. All right, guys, you are done with the origami part. Congratulations. Now all we have to do is glue the head onto the body. So I'm just gonna overlap my chin a little bit with that top corner of the body, press it down, and make sure it sticks really well. And you have just created your origami cat. All right, now I feel like our cats are missing some things. We need to add eyes, nose, mouth, maybe even some paws. So I'm using that white crayon we took out before, and I'm gonna draw my own details on my cat. So I'll let you watch me draw. You can design your cat however you'd like, and I'll let you see mine when it's all done. When you're all done creating your cat, you can take a picture of it just the way it is, or for a little extra spooky Halloween fun, you can glue your cat onto a background piece of paper and create a really fun Halloween scene for your black cat. Let me show you what I did. I hope you guys had fun making your Halloween cat, and I hope that you have a really fun, safe Halloween, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget to upload your final picture on Canvas.